Good morning. I'm Deborah Curtis, Provost and Chief Learning Officer here at UCM. It's my honor to welcome you on behalf of President Charles Ambrose and the faculty and staff of the University of Central Missouri on this beautiful summer day. President Ambrose has asked me to express his regret that he was unable to be here today, but to share with you how very proud he is of this initiative. Some guests I want to make sure we recognize right away. Welcome to Representative Denny Hoskins, Representative Donna Fouch, Representative Dean Dorman. Thank you to our partners in this work, the Lee Summit R7 School District, Metropolitan Community College. A very special thanks to Joint Committee on Education co-chairs Senator David Pierce, Representative Mike Thompson, and the bill sponsors, Senator Will Kraus, Representative Gary Cross. You know, public education is the key to a strong and growing economy in Missouri and a bright and prosperous future for us all. In speaking for the higher education community, in order to keep an affordable, quality education within reach for all Missourians, we must have public support. That is why we're so pleased again to welcome Governor Nixon to our campus. Since day one, the governor has worked to create jobs, grow our economy, balance the budget, and put a college education within reach of thousands of students. Governor Nixon's commitment to higher education is strong. He's helped to hold down tuition and provide more resources for scholarship programs like A+, Bright Flight, and Access Missouri. And he's helped more students begin degree programs in healthcare fields through Caring for Missourians and Missouri Health Wins initiatives. Today, enrollment at our public colleges is up and more students are on the path to success. We appreciate the governor's leadership on higher education issues, and we are incredibly honored to have him here with us today. Please welcome Missouri's 55th governor, Governor Jay Nixon.
Thank you, Provost Curtis, and the entire team at UCM for hosting us today. I also want to recognize these legislators behind me for their great work this session on the measure that I'm going to sign into law here in a couple of minutes, and I appreciate their thoughtful work and important efforts here. You'll get a chance to hear from them when I'm done. From day one as governor, my top priorities have been to create jobs and move the economy forward. And on that front, we are seeing real progress. Today, our unemployment rate has been below the national average for 45 straight months. And this year alone, we've seen global brands like Monsanto, Express Scripts, Boeing, and Ford announce major expansions that will create thousands of jobs across our state. Progress like that doesn't happen by accident. By balancing the budget every year, holding the line on taxes, protecting our perfect AAA credit rating, and making smart strategic investments, we have built a strong foundation for economic growth and prosperity for years to come. And nothing will have a greater impact on our future than the investments that we make right now in education. Education is quite simply the best economic development tool there is. That's why we've made a focused effort to give every Missourian the opportunity to pursue a post-secondary degree and make sure that degree prepares them for jobs and careers of tomorrow. Through initiatives like Caring for Missourians, Mo Health Wins, and Training for Tomorrow, we've increased the number of graduates in high-demand fields like healthcare, information technology, and advanced manufacturing. At a time when other states were hiking tuitions by double digits, our four-year public universities have increased tuition and fees by just 5% over the past 4 years. Missouri now leads the nation in holding down increases in college tuition. We are number one, and these folks behind me have been very helpful in that regard, and I appreciate everybody working together. To think that you would have a challenging economic time for the last 4 or 5 years, and during that time, one of the ways we would separate ourselves from the country is to make sure that we are holding down the cost of education while making additional investments in education is beginning to even more broadly separate us. We've also made Missouri's A+ school program available to every public high school in the state, adding 266 schools to the program since 2009. Today, 99% of public high school students, if they work hard, play by the rules, and give back to their communities, can earn that A+ scholarship and attend a community college tuition-free. With these increased investments, we have also demanded more accountability. This year, for the first time ever, higher education in Missouri will be funded through an outcome-based funding model we developed in collaboration with our colleges and universities. Today, I'm proud to announce that since 2008, Missouri had the 13th largest increase in percentage of adults with a post and secondary degree, with a rate of increase almost twice that of the national average. So at a time we focus on education and we look at those last 4 years, we can see twice the average of the country of folks attaining higher education degrees. Now is the time to build on this momentum, and that's why I'm here today. Last year, I announced that my administration had awarded nearly $9 million in grants to establish innovation campuses throughout Missouri, including the very first one right here at the University of Central Missouri. Innovation campuses bring colleges and universities, area businesses, and local school districts together to offer accelerated degree programs that prepare students for careers in high-demand fields. While still in high school, Innovation Campus students take dual credit courses that help them reduce the time and the cost needed to earn their degree. Apprenticeships with area business partners give students the skills that businesses need and give employers more confidence to hire these well-trained, highly qualified workers once they graduate. It's a simple and powerful idea, giving students more valuable skills, greater opportunities in less time and at less cost. We started it here at the University of Central Missouri, and I think it will become a model for our nation. In partnership with Metropolitan Community College, the Lee Summit School District, and numerous area businesses, the Missouri Innovation Campus at UCM is providing students with accelerated degree opportunities in the high-demand fields of information technology and applied science at virtually no cost to the students. In fact, the first class of students is now doing high-impact summer internships with partners including Cerner, St. Luke's Hospital, and DST Systems, and some of those students are with us today. You're who we're betting on, and we're going to continue to make aggressive actions to make sure you have the opportunities to succeed in the future. We're here to take the next step for our innovation campuses by signing Senate Bill 381 into law. This legislation formalizes the innovation campus model, ensuring that the progress and momentum of this important initiative will continue. Together, we will prepare students for the careers of tomorrow, cut the time it takes to earn a degree, and reduce the burden of student debt. That's a win for our colleges and universities, a win for Missouri businesses, and most importantly, a win for Missouri students. I want to personally thank Senator Will Krause and Handler Representative Gary Cross for their fine work to make this bipartisan legislation a reality today. Before I sign this into law and then introduce these legislators to make a few comments, I just want to once again reiterate, UCM is really the centerpiece of this. And the coalitions built here. I can remember back, I was talking to Senator Krause about some of the initial meetings we had in Lee Summit and meetings with superintendents, meetings with businesses. And each one of those, the team here at UCM was a step ahead of everybody. And then when we put the first grant applications out and awarded those first 9 grants throughout the state through that community development block grant form, it was this application that stood out as a real outstanding leader. And then, because of that, now puts us in a situation where not only are we formalizing this with today's measure and taking something that started in essence as an idea and a pilot project and turning that into a reality, we're also going to continue to keep that agility and that competitiveness that's been the backbone of the success of this particular system. What I'll do now is I'm going to sign this measure into law, then I'll be glad, and I'm going to call on some of these legislators to make comments, and I'll be glad to take any questions. Let me make a little law first by signing this fine piece of legislation. None of this is possible without having strong members of the legislature willing to come together, put their priorities correct, and move us forward. I'm going to first call on the Senate sponsor of this particular bill. He comes from the western side of this catchment area here, in a sense from the Lee Summit side, where he has worked to help make this a reality, Senator Will Kraus.
Thank you, Governor. It's a pleasure to be back in UCM. I'm a graduate of UCM. In fact, my wife is a graduate of UCM. My mom's a graduate of UCM. Her parents, my wife's parents, are graduates of UCM. And we currently have a son here at UCM. But this legislation wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for President Chuck Ambrose. He was the one that came up with the concept and brought it to the governor and brought it to Senator Pierce and myself, and we were able to work with him throughout the process to get this bill to become a reality. The key here is making higher education more affordable and in a shorter duration of time, so we can get graduates to the businesses and make sure the businesses have the workforce that they need to grow our economy. I'm glad to be a part of it, and I appreciate the leadership of Senator David Pierce in the education in the Senate and the House sponsor, House carrier of the bill as well. Thank you once again, Governor.
Thank you. Congratulations. I'll tell you, you members of the Alumni Association should really close to the Kraus family. You got a pipeline from the west here, going to continue. I got a sense that's not the last Kraus that's going to graduate from here. Let me now call on someone who obviously knows no introduction, knows this area well, a representative for many, many years, and has been a tireless leader on a myriad of public education issues over his career in both the House and now in the Senate, Senator David Pierce.
Thank you very much, Governor. It's always a pleasure to see the governor at the UCM in Warrensburg, especially when you're signing bills. So you're always welcome, and it's great to have your presence here. I want to compliment Senator Kraus for carrying this legislation. It was a new idea, a new concept, and he had to convince a lot of folks on the Senate and also in the House, and also Representative Cross for your hard work too. It just wouldn't have been done. The real heroes are the young people on the front row, and you're taking advantage of a wonderful program. They're even getting paid this summer during an internship. Isn't that good? And so we expect great things out of you. And they're wonderful people. And this is something that's designed to meet the business demands. In education, we're going to train good workers to meet the business demands because we need that. And so I just want to thank everyone for their support. It's too bad President Ambrose couldn't be here, but he had another commitment because he has worked tirelessly on this. And this is just the start, and it's great to be starting right here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Just to go off topic for just a second, it's about a year ago at a meeting that I was, almost exactly a year ago, I had a chance to sign a piece of legislation that Senator Pierce was involved in, that now a year later, much like this one, is already started, but you're going to see great benefits from, was a measure to make transfer of credits between community colleges and four-year colleges around the state much easier, I should use correct English. Although you should never, in my job, I mean, when Bush was president, you should never misunderestimate how useful it was to have somebody that you could just kind of use whichever word that you wanted to kind of felt your way through. But I just say that's a measure. I know there's a number of folks at UCM that have been very, very helpful in that. I'd like now to call on the House handler of this measure. We wouldn't be here without his superior leadership here, Representative Gary Cross.
Well, it's still morning. Good morning. I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to this group. I'm a graduate of UCM. Back then they called it Central Missouri State, back in 1977. I do want to say to these young gentlemen here, congratulations. You gentlemen have an opportunity today that we're not preparing you for a job, we're preparing you for a career. You know, today the average career at a particular place of employment is about 7 years. Then you're looking to change again. I'm very optimistic that today maybe we can come back and prepare you gentlemen for maybe a 30-year career. Also become a tax-paying citizen within the community, not just be out working at a minimum wage job. You can prepare yourself, be a tax-paying citizen, and also raise a family. So congratulations to you gentlemen. And thank you again to the State Senator Will Kraus, Senator David Pierce, also Representative Dennis Hoskins, Donna Fouch, Dean Dorman, and also Governor Jay Nixon, who made this happen as a finished product. Thank you. God bless.
I'm going to make sure we get the other legislators a chance to say something. I'll start with Denny Hoskins. We appreciate his steadfast leadership for a number of issues, and when you're governor, and once they do this whole redistricting thing, you kind of forget where the lines are. I know this has got to be your district, though. Okay, it's okay. I know you were elected from here, but I don't. The lines change, and you don't know where folks are. So I always think of them in where they were, and then all at once every 10 years they change the lines. But this has got to be your district, and it's great to be back in your district again. And I know you've been a great leader for UCM for years. But thanks for your help on this bill.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor, for coming here to University of Central Missouri to sign this great piece of legislation. Also, thank you to Senator Will Cross for carrying this and filing this, and Representative Gary Cross for being the bill handler in the House as well. I mean, the real winners in this room right now are the students. You all have the opportunity to graduate with a college degree with low to no debt, as well as have a job opportunity out there for you when you graduate. So that's the most important. You all are definitely the winners in this room, and congratulations to you, and thank you for everyone that's made this process possible. Thank you.
Two other representatives with us. I think Donna had to go. We'll have them come up and add their strengths to this. We'll first call up Representative Dean Dorman. Dean.
I'm often asked, why do you get into politics? Why do you want to do this? There's a lot of things that are not so pleasant in politics, but it's because of days like this. This is what really makes it all happen, what makes it work. As some of you may know, I teach political science online, and I'm often asked by my students, does government work? Well, today I can say yes, it does. And this is a fine example. I want to thank Senator Krause, Representative Cross, Senator Pierce, Representative Hoskins, Representative Fausch, and everyone who's been a part of this today. It's great, and thank you, Governor, for signing this bill.
I think that's got them all. I think everybody's okay. Before I take any questions anybody might have, I do think that the final point made by Representative Dorman is an important one. It's a heck of a lot easier to be cynical than it is to roll up your sleeves and get to work. It's a whole lot easier to say what's wrong with something than it is to say, I love it so much, I'm going to make it better. It is so easy to sit around and said to young kids, you should have seen how tough it was when I was a kid, when we had to walk 10 miles through snow just to get to a minimum wage job so we'd have the opportunity to go to school. But it's much better to realize that the competitive world you're going to get into is a much more robust world economy than we had when we graduated. Much more difficult, much more challenging, and I am honored to be with these fine leaders here, with this great institution, leading the way literally for our country in making these connections that will make a difference for lives in the future. With that, I'd be glad to take any questions if anybody's got one. I'll escape here. Anybody? With that, it's like I said, it's a lot of fine things have been said by a lot of people that work together to make a difference here. I get this sense that where we are is at the beginning of something, not at the end. I get the sense there's no place else in America where this is happening today. There's no place else in America where the Innovation Campus got started. There's no place else where community colleges, high schools, businesses have worked this closely on a new program and used the limited dollars as efficiently and effectively as we have here. And given this legislation here today, this will be a giant boost of progress to this for years and generations to come. Thank you, and God bless.